Hi, I'm Kyle Farmer with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, and today I want to talk to you about what it's like to get a VA loan. VA loans are what I've been doing for a very long time now, um, something that I have an extreme passion for, helping our veterans because I feel like that um, a lot of veterans get taken advantage of, quite frankly. So I'm always happy to help the ones that have served and made it possible for me to do what I love doing, which is helping others and doing VA loans and helping people um, buy homes, their dream homes in a lot of times. So one of the questions that I often get um, is things like, "Hey, I've never done this before. What do I do?" So the first thing that I want to go over is the documents that you should gather before you talk to your lender, um, so that you know what you're going to need, um, and also want to talk to you about some of the not just what to expect, but also some of the pitfalls and possible hurdles that you might have to get over when you're going through a VA loan and going through that process. So okay, the first thing that you're going to want to do is gather your pay statements, your pay stubs. Um, and then you're going to want to get your W-2s for the last 2 years, the most recent 2 years to get that, and bank statements to cover the last or the most recent 2 months. Um, so you're going to need your your pay statements or your pay stubs, as they're referred to, for a full 30 days of earnings, a full month, your W-2s for the last 2 years, the last 2 calendar years, and bank statements that are going to cover the most recent 2 months. Um, if you have those ready or if you have them online, that's great. It'll save you that much more time because everything with technology now, we do everything online. So if you're going to go grab those, from your online bank account where you can download them as a PDF, save yourself a little bit of time um, with that and going through that process. So that's even better and it'll help you out more. So um, the last thing I want for you to have to do when you're working with me is to have to basically take a day off of work um, to go get to upload all your documents, to pull all that stuff together. With the technology that we have nowadays, it's very easy, very quick. We make it simple in our process for you to be able to upload all that stuff in one place and do it at your leisure and your time. You don't have to necessarily do it all right when you get the application part done. Um, so that part's that. So to recap, pay statements, um, the most recent two pay stubs or pay statements that you have, the most recent 2 years, 2 calendar years W-2s. So this is we're in August of 2020 right now, so that would mean um, pay statements that are going to basically go back to the end of July through your most current, and then 2018 and 2019 W-2s, and then bank statements that are going to cover the most recent 2 months as well, going back 2 months. Because bank statements are always behind, so you're not going to have an August statement if we're in August of 2020. So you'll have June and July for those pay statements. Now, when you talk to a lender and or fill out the online application, they're going to ask you some questions such as, um, are you paid salary? Are you paid hourly? How are you paid? You're going to want to know that information in advance. Again, just to save you time and time for yourself and not having to take off of work and do waste a whole day just to basically get your mortgage documents in line. Um, so have that information ready to go because you're going to need it. You have it all in one place. If you have it, saved on your desktop in a folder, easy to grab, upload it, boom, you're done. It's really that easy and that simple. So when I'm qualifying someone, I'm always going to be pulling credit. And the reason that I'm going to pull credit is because I got to see the whole picture. So that ultimately I have to run what's called desktop underwriting. And what that is it's an automated underwriting system. And what we're looking for is an approve eligible, meaning that you meet all the requirements, guideline requirements based on credit, income, debt to income ratios, that kind of thing. So that's what we're looking for there. And I can't run desktop underwriter until we have a credit report and import that credit profile into the file. So if you get your credit score from something like Credit Karma or one of the other online sources, it's not always going to be accurate. So you need to know that when a lender pulls your credit, it could be very different based on that right there, based on it not being Credit Karma or Credit Sesame or one of the other online credit tools that you can use to monitor your credit. So when we do the application, we run credit. I'm going to ask you for your documents. I run it through Desktop Underwriter, again, looking for that approve eligible. And that's the pre-qualification process right there in a nutshell. That's what is done. It's really that easy, not that hard, doesn't take us very long. A little bit of commitment on your side to get those documents in so that we can do it in a timely fashion so that you can get out there, get on the street, start looking for your next home. If you served a long time ago, we may need your DD 214. We have a way to get that electronically, or we have a way to get electronically to be able to pull your eligibility or the certificate of eligibility. However, if you served a long time ago, odds are you're not going to be in those records. So that's why we may need the DD 214. However, that said, about 99% of everyone that we work with, you're going to be able to get that online. The ones that don't, we have to request the DD 214, figure out the eligibility that way. So might be a few extra steps, but again, about 99% of the people that we deal with are going to be able to show up on that electronically. Whenever we go to the VA portal to pull that, I get my processor to do it. It literally takes 5 or 10 minutes at the most, depending on what she's doing, but it takes, a couple minutes, jump on the VA portal and you're done. So that's that part. So when we get you qualified, we talk about what your numbers are, and any lender that you speak to should always be going over things such as your payment, interest rates, and interest rates are important, and it's definitely worth talking about. A lot of people assume that if you're that when you're getting a VA mortgage, that the interest rate is the same no matter what lender you talk to or what bank you talk to. That's totally wrong. VA loans have the biggest pricing difference based on what lender you talk to. You want to understand your monthly payments, and you want to make sure that your monthly payments also include property taxes and insurance, okay? Then you start shopping with a realtor. You probably are going to want to work with an agent that is that knows the VA process and that has experience working with that, because there might be some things along the way that they're going to have to negotiate on your behalf that require them to have a little bit of experience to know what that means, so they know how to negotiate it on your behalf for you. So another misconception that we see a lot on in regards to VA loans is that all closing costs are included, are covered in the loan, and that's not accurate. The VA does not pay your closing cost, so you need to budget for that and think about that, and talk about it with your lender in the beginning stages so that you know what to expect and you don't have any surprises. at the end. That's the last thing that you want to do. So once you're under contract, meaning that you've selected the house, it's all been negotiated, your offer has been accepted, that offer then turns into a contract. Um, Once you have that, we have your documents ready to go. VA loans don't take 45 days to close. In a lot of cases, they don't even take 30, to be honest with you. Um, we've got a bunch right now that we're closing in less than 20 or 21 days. Um, a lot of it depends on what's going on with the VA and their appraisers. So when we do a VA loan, the appraisal gets ordered through the VA. So that sounds like it's going to take forever, right? Not necessarily. Um, some things that confuse people, and by the way, we take care of the appraisal, not you. That goes through us. We order it, we take care of it, so you don't have to do anything on that. You literally are not involved in that process, other than when it comes in, you get a copy of it. You have to sign off that you actually acknowledge that you received it, and that's that. So some things also that confuse people on a VA loan are things such as childcare expenses. Um, so one of the things that we do up front when we're working with the veteran is that we always ask, if you have children and they're younger, what are your childcare, your monthly childcare expenses? Because that's going to be something that's going to play a part in your debt to income ratio that needs to be factored in. So that's something that needs to be asked. So when you're talking to a lender, see what they're going to ask you. If they're not asking you that, it could be something that could come back to bite you in the end, because it is going to come up. Because if you have kids, that's going to be something that the underwriter is going to question. And let's say that your child care expenses are $1,000 a month, that could come back to bite you in the end. That could hurt your debt to income ratio, increasing it, and possibly making you not qualify for the loan at that point because you have higher ratios. Um, so that's something that's very important that needs to be talked about up front. Um, so make sure that those questions are being asked to you, and being asked up front. So beyond all that, it's like a normal loan. It goes into underwriting. The underwriter looks at the documents based on the information that we have, compares everything, makes sure that it makes sense, and then they issue their approval. It's really not complicated at all. And to be honest and frank with you, it's really quite easy. But that's the overview of how a VA loan works. Once the underwriter approves it, we order loan docs. You sign the loan docs, and you close. If you ever have any questions about a VA loan, please give me a call. If you need a VA loan, I'm happy to help you. So call, text, or email. All my information is below. And again, thanks for watching.